Hello everybody. I want to talk about in this video about moment of a couple, and I want to start by defining what is a couple. So the first question is, what is a couple? So the answer is that if you have two forces that are equal in magnitude, so they have the same magnitude, parallel to one another, opposite in sense, and have non-collinear lines of actions. Lines of action. They form a couple. So two forces that are equal in magnitude, so a force like this, a force like this, they are parallel, equal magnitude, and they are opposite what in sense, and they have, what does that mean? Non-collinear lines of action. So they are not on the same line. Because if you have something like this, two forces that they are equal, they are parallel, right? But they are on the same line of action, right? The line of action is right here. But see, this is what we call non-collinear line of action. So this is not a couple. This is not a couple. But this is a couple. So now the question is, what is moment of a couple? Moment of a couple simply is force, magnitude of the force, times the shortest distance between these two forces. Now the shortest distance happens to be a line which is perpendicular to both forces, right? And we call that D. And then moment, you see, unlike moment of a force about a point, moment of a couple doesn't have any reference point. So I didn't say moment about what point, A, B, C. Well, this is one of the characteristics of a couple. Moment of a couple is the same with respect to any point in a space. In other words, doesn't matter. So you don't need a reference point. Doesn't matter where you take the moment about. And by the way, obviously moment has a direction. So imagine if you have a rigid body and you apply a force like that, two forces in the opposite direction, how would this body rotate? This will cause a rotation, and the rotation clearly is clockwise. So that's the direction of this couple. This is the magnitude of the couple, moment of the couple, and this is the direction, clockwise. Okay? So let me prove this to you guys. First of all, let me go to the next page, and we'll talk about, look at an example. Let's say we have a 200-pound force like this and a 200-pound force in the opposite direction. They're equal, right? Parallel, not on the same line. And let's say the perpendicular distance between them is 3 feet. So this moment, according to what we just did, the last page is 200 pounds times what? Times 3 feet. So it would be a 600 pound foot or foot pound, and causing clockwise rotation, or the direction is clockwise. Now I want to prove to you a very simple example using the same problem actually, that the moment of a couple about any point is going to be the same. It's going to be this 600. So for example, pick a point anywhere you want. Somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here. Doesn't make any difference. Let's say I pick it to be somewhere here. Say 2 feet below the lower force. And I'm going to call this point A. And I'm going to go ahead and find moment of these forces about A. I'm going to pick clockwise as positive, just as a reference. So what's the moment of this force, the upper force? So that's 200 pounds times the distance, perpendicular distance happens to be 5 feet, right? And that's going clockwise, would be positive. But the moment of this force, the lower one, it's going to be going counterclockwise, so it would be negative 200 times what? 2. And guess what? What am I going to get? 1,000 minus 400. I'm going to end up getting 600 positive pound-foot. And positive means it's clockwise. Okay? So, moment of a couple with respect to any point is going to be the same. Okay? So now you could actually have a bunch of couples, and you could find the resultant couple. So for example, let's say if you have a force here, 100 pound and 100 pound, right, with a perpendicular distance of 2 feet, and then maybe I have a 50 pound here and a 50 pound here with a distance of 2 feet, again perpendicular distance. So you see, what would be the resultant couple? The 100 times 2, this one is going to go clockwise, right, if I pick this to be positive. But take a look at the other one. The 50 is going to cause a counterclockwise rotation, right? So actually this happens to be 200 minus 100 becomes 100 pound-foot. Overall is going to be clockwise. Okay guys, I'm going to stop here. This topic is really simple and very easy to understand. And as always, if you like the videos, please subscribe. I'll come up with a video or two every week. Again, as usual, thanks for watching and listening.